Recently, the Jefferson County Fire Service lost a longtime firefighter and a dedicated member of the Highview Fire District. Major Kevin Bayens lost his fight with cancer. Here is a remembrance of Major Bayens.
April 9th, 1981, Kevin Michael Bayens made his debut into this world. Those who knew him best will tell you, it is not surprising that you won't find any photos of Kevin without a smile on his face.
Good times, bad times, he's still got that little grin. He can look at you and you know, hey, you messed up or good job.
It was also no surprise that Kevin would become a firefighter in 1999 while still in high school and climbed straight up the ranks at Highview.
He was a firefighter and then a sergeant and became a captain. In 2013 we promoted him to a major and made him our fire marshal. So you could see Kevin's passion and desire to move up that ladder when other people would stand back in the shadows and watch.
You just know when someone comes in like that. And that's all he ever wanted to do. He didn't want to, I don't know, Josh, he didn't want to be a policeman or an engineer or go to college. He wanted to be a fireman and he wanted your job. He wasn't a fireman, I want your job one day, and he got it.
What was a surprise is the news Kevin found out on Thanksgiving Day just this past year.
They found something on his pancreas. Then right after that is when they determined that it was cancer.
Just months prior to being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, Major Bayens was one of the first command officers to arrive on the scene of one of the largest fires in Louisville's history, the GE fire.
Kevin did many things for that fire that day. I put him as what's called a division leader, and that division leader he's responsible for telling me what goes on inside of that fire. And what he did, I mean, we had companies inside of that fire, and he made the decision to pull everybody out of the fire, which was, I mean, he saved lives that day.
He had a great passion for fire prevention because he understood that in order to keep firefighters safe and to prevent fires, you had to teach people to that. And it goes back to him teaching.
We have signs that we look for. There's 4 signs of flashover.
You may recognize Major Bayens' face as being a TV counterpart to our own Reed Yaden, when Major Bayens jumped at the opportunity to teach again.
He was the obvious choice to make sure that he was the instructor for Reed. Because you know Reed was nervous, and Kevin had that demeanor to be able to calm him down and make sure he understood that he was safe.
And he put his arm around me and said, "Don't worry about it. Everything will be fine. I've got it." He said, "Let's do this." And never another problem. From there on, he just told you what to do every step of the way. Follow me, get here, do this, don't do this. But while you were in there, in the process of the burn, he was explaining what was going on and what's going to happen. I mean, he was just an incredible teacher. And he truly loved the teaching part of his duty with the fire service.
Major Bayens was a natural, and he co-hosted the program with Reed Yaden in various training segments.
Kevin is one of the best teachers I have ever had in any subject. Kevin knows the science of firefighting and can reduce it to manageable terms when he's explaining it to you right in the middle of the event.
I think if you ask any guys, Kevin was by far one of our best instructors. I mean, everyone always wanted to be in Kevin's class.
Major Bayens' teachings were respected enough that he was invited to instruct for 12 years at Texas A&M.
And to teach there is very tough. I mean, the classrooms are big, and you really are teaching people you don't know, and you're teaching subjects that sometimes you're not real good at. And Kevin's classes were always good.
Back to 1999, and Kevin Bayens' first day on the job at Highview. Jody Craig just so happened to be the firefighter that opened the back door at Highview to greet Kevin on his first day. So, it too is no surprise that Craig became one of Kevin's best friends that stayed right next to him through his hardest battle.
He was having some pains, and I was worried about him. And when he got diagnosed, he said he was worried, he didn't know what he was going to do, and I just told him I'm never going to leave you. It's not ever going to happen. and I'm not going to leave him. He's done so much for me, and he's done so much for other people.
Highview is Kevin, you know. Kevin is Highview. Things rotated around him at Highview. Ever since he was lieutenant on 8-hour shifts all the way through his major promotion, Kevin was involved in everything. Recruits, you know, trucks. He helped build the trucks. He helped put them together. I think we have a lot. We're going to have to pick up the pieces because we're going to find out how much we're going to miss Kevin at Highview for sure.
When a guy leaves behind a rich legacy like Kevin, then you know, that's something that is immeasurable.
Dealing with tragedies is what we do. You know, it's our job, but dealing with them in-house is very difficult sometimes.